boy, oh boy, oh boy. I thought my tone, I thought my feelings about what was going to be going on here to start this pregame show was going to be a lot different. About 30 minutes ago, I felt it was going to be a lot different, a lot more joyful, a lot more happier. Don't mind the braces. Don't mind the braces. Certain things that I can't say. But I thought this was going to be just a happy party and everything was going to be all good. But instead, we got to be stressed out. We got to be arguing amongst each other. We have to be blaming Jimmy Garoppolo, who was cooking. Blaming Kyle Shanahan, who put up 41 effortlessly against the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions stink. But it's just a bunch of nonsense. And I'm not in here happy. I'm in here frustrated after the Niners win 41-33 in Detroit. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably frustrated for different reasons that everybody else is. It's Kenny Caraway, by the way. 49ers game day. And like I said, the Niners go to 1-0. And I'm gonna tell you right now how I go about things. When I would coach high school basketball, and I would tell these guys all the time, a lot of people will get into situations like this where, you win a game, but you should have executed better, or you let them back into the game or anything like that. And they'll be like, we won, but we didn't get it done. It was a bad win. We got a lot to work on, all this other stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't subscribe to that, especially in the NFL. And I'm not an NFL head coach, but especially in the NFL. You win, you be happy. You win, you celebrate the win. Because I'm going to tell you right now, wins on any level in any sport are hard to get. So I'm never, as much as a perfectionist as I can be, I'm never going to have a win and come out mad that we won. No, I would tell these guys in the locker room, we won, slap hands, bunch of high fives, congratulations, let's go, we got the win. Because this is why you play to win. So when you get that W, you need to enjoy them, because I'm going to tell you this, them losses, you think that, I'll tell you right now, the Lions, if they're in that locker room talking about how great it feels to come back and make it close and lose, that's more fake hustle than I already thought was going on. Ain't nobody happy after a loss. At least it shouldn't be. So I'll tell you right now, they win. That's just, let's go. You got a victory, 1-0. It's a lot better than 0-1. Yeah, it was crazy how the game turned out or whatever the case may be. Nobody's happy with that. But anybody with common sense can tell you, we're not happy with that. We don't need to go around and mope around like they lost the game. Not doing that. So I'm not necessarily upset with them winning the game or that it ended up being close and all this other stuff. I am upset with how everything played out, because, it's just the word that I come up with on Twitter is it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And I know people want to go around and blame people and all this other stuff. I'm not really here to do that. I'm really not, because you have a situation where that game should have been over. And this is what I'm starting to believe. And this is what I don't want to see anymore. Okay? If a team is up by 30 points with 5 minutes to go in the game, if a team is up by 25 points with 30 seconds to go in the game, ain't no knees no more. Ain't no taking these. Ain't no victory formation. At least if you don't want to. If you want to throw some passes, get some extra stats for your players, if you want to get some touchdowns for your quarterback, go ahead and do it. And the opposing coach better not say a damn word. Better not say a damn word. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I remember hearing this a long time ago. The team that's losing, the team that's getting slapped up, they always want you to turn the water off. But are they going to turn the water off? No, they want to bite kneecaps. They want to keep playing. They want to keep throwing the ball. They want to keep getting into the end zone and getting touchdowns. While you're sitting here like, hey, we want to have good sportsmanship. We don't want to blow anybody out. All right, let's be respectful of our opponent. We'll just run the ball into 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and we'll play it, the very safe, sportsman-like way. I don't want to hear that no more. I was saying in the fourth quarter, Kyle Shanahan passed the ball. Simple as that. Number one, I felt like you were going to get Elijah Mitchell, who was phenomenal today. You're going to get him killed because they're just zeroing in on running the football. They got all 11 guys coming up to the line. Throw the ball. Put 50 on their head. Ain't no 3 yards in a cloud of dust out here. So that needs to be done. That needs to be done. But look, here's the deal. This is why, and I've had, I've seen Twitter. I've had people reach out to me, say that they're on Kyle Shanahan and Shanahan blows leads and all this other stuff. This was a tricky one. Because, number one, you got that whole sportsmanship thing. All right. You don't want to run it up and all this other stuff. And then you got a situation where, in some respects, you just want to get the hell out of there. I'm gonna be real with you guys right now. I was sitting there, I think when they were up by 24, whatever it was, I don't know. And after Verrett got hurt, after Jimmy Ward got hurt, after Al Shazier got hurt, I said, for Christ's sakes, just let them score so you can get the ball out and run the clock out and we can get the hell out of here. What are we doing out here trying to cover and do all this other stuff? The most important thing is ending this game so we don't have more injuries. And I can understand Kyle Shanahan looking here, people dropping like flies. Backups are out here dropping like flies. Backups are out here having to get an IV and getting cramps and all this other stuff. Just get the hell out of here. Get out of Detroit. All right. But here's Dan Campbell chewing off kneecaps. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep throwing that ball. Oh my gosh. Just like I said, I'm going to tell you right now, put 50 on anybody's head that you can now. I don't want to see nothing about running the ball out. No more. We ain't running the ball out. No more. Keep that offense going. We up by 38 with a minute 30 to go in the game. I don't care. Run a 9 route. Because they would do it. They're down 38. They ain't going to take no knee. So you want to see guys come out of that healthy. You want to see guys come out of there healthy. And you see people dropping like flies. You see Jason Verrett. I'm sure there's guys on the sideline that probably had tears in their eyes. We can't take out the human element of this whole thing. You see your guy who you've been in the trenches with, who you know his history. You know how hard he's been working. You know what he's been trying to do to get back. And you see him go down, and not only go down, but you see him starting to cry. Come on, man. I know a lot of people think it's Madden, but if we're sitting here as fans talking about how bad we feel for Jason Verrett, how tough this is, prayers up, all this other stuff, what do you think his brothers out there is feeling? His brothers are probably like, man, I'm not even worried about this 2nd and 13 right now. My man's just went down. He over there crying. You got to be feeling some type of way. Now, they're professionals. They're supposed to compartmentalize that and go out there and finish the job. But that's a factor that plays into it. All right. The other factor that plays into this whole thing is, what if Kyle Shanahan up 38-17? Hell, Kyle Shanahan up. Did they even get a chance to be up 38-23? I think that's when they missed the onside kick. So they didn't even get an opportunity for that. But what if Kyle Shanahan, let's just say 38-17, goes out there and starts just slinging the ball around, just throwing the ball around, and a pick six happens, or heaven forbid, knocking on wood right now, Deebo Samuels gets hurt. What's the first thing everybody going to be saying? Why the hell are you throwing the ball up 38-18? Why? Run the ball. Take the air out of the ball. Come on, man. You know that's what people going to be saying. So Kyle takes the air out of the ball, runs that clock, keeps it moving, whatever the case may be. Hey, make no bones about it. I said I wanted him to start running, passing the football. Because, number one, I was looking at what they were doing to poor little Elijah Mitchell. So you don't get this kid killed. You got to get these guys off of him just a little bit. I was like, you got to pass that ball. And don't even get me started on the experiments when Trey Lance would come into the game. Come on, man. You're going to get Trey Lance killed because they got 11 guys, and Dan Campbell is coming out there playing the run in that situation. Dan Campbell going to come on the field, get an open field tackle, and just put 12 in the box. They only got 11 out there. Dan Campbell going to make 12. They're going to put a 12 in the box. So don't even get me started on that. You can't be that predictable if you're Kyle Shanahan. I don't care if it's 38-17. So 38-16 was the score. So maybe when, I have a blame for Kyle Shanahan, I got blamed for just not keeping foot on their neck. And just keep going at these boys. And once again, to hell with sportsmanship, because Dan Campbell, he already told you he's coming up and biting off kneecaps. He told you he's not going to stop playing. So I'd say like this. If you're not going to stop playing, all right, we're going to keep unloading this ball on your head. Simple as that. Simple as that. So that's more than anything what has me upset with the game. The fact that these unwritten rules and all this other stuff goes on where if you're beating the hell out of somebody that you got to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust and they get to keep slinging the ball all over the place. Where they do that at? What the hell is that? And then you get in situations like this. So then you got an unfortunate situation with the onside kick with George Kittle. Then you got Deebo Samuels fighting for yards. Actually, I heard in the post game, he said he's trying to get down because he knew, it was a done deal. And it was just a great play by Trey Flowers. He made a great play on the ball. And sometimes you got to tip your hat to the defense. They get paid too. So I'm more upset with the way this game ended, not necessarily, at the players or even at Kyle Shanahan, but just like I said, the fake hustle of it all, the unwritten rules of it all. I'm off of that. And I'm even more upset with the injuries that were going on. And it's like, man, come on, man. I just need these guys to stay healthy. I want to see this team at full health. And before you had all that with Jason Verrett going on, which was just devastating, and Kyle Shanahan talked about it, they fear that it is an ACL with Jason Verrett. And by looking at him on the sidelines, he had been there before. He knew what that was. That was tough to watch. So that's frustrating. And before all that, you had to deal in the first half with Raheem Mostert going down. And they're talking about he isn't sure, what the issue is. They've ruled out, this training staff at least has ruled out it being an ACL, which is a good thing. But I don't think we see Raheem Mostert for the next few weeks. Like I said, luckily Elijah Mitchell stepped in and did what he did and had the great game he had, 19 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown, 5.5 yards per carry. But right off the bat, you lose Raheem Mostert. And then maybe the play of the game at the end of the first half, Dre Greenlaw, pick 6 on Jared Goff. All of a sudden, we get back into the second half. Dre Greenlaw's return is questionable with a groin injury. I'm like, you can't be serious, man. So that's what has me upset more than the way this game ended. If you guys want to tap in, you definitely can tap in on the phone lines. 916-349-1320. Let me know what you think about this 49ers week 1 win, 41-33 in what ended up being a Fred Sanford game. This is a big one. I'm coming, Elizabeth. That's what was going on in the last couple of minutes for me as I was pacing around my room, seeing that game finish. But if you got thoughts, if you want to talk about it, tap in here to 49ers Game Day with your man, Kenny Caraway. Like I said, 916-349-1320. I got the chat open. The chatty house is open. We're streaming on YouTube. ESPN 1320 on YouTube, ESPN 1320 on Twitch. Get in here, get your thoughts in that way. And when we're not taking a break right now, but after our break, we're going to be talking to our guy, that covers the 49ers, the beat writer for the 49ers for Sports Illustrated, Jose Sanchez. He's going to tap in. We're going to talk about everything that we saw in week one. But a couple of things that we saw that I liked. I talked about what I didn't like. I talked about the things that frustrated me. Can I talk about the things that I like just a little bit? Can I do that? Can I be happy? My team just went 1-0. All right. Like I said, it's hard enough to get wins in the NFL. Can I be happy? Can I rejoice a little bit? Can I smile just a little bit? We 1-0 in the NFL right now. Okay. 41 easy points. And I know it was the Detroit Lions. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. The 49ers did exactly what they were supposed to do and what I told you they were supposed to do against the Detroit Lions. 41 easy points. All right, they should have put 50 on their head, but that's a whole nother story. But they put up 442 yards of total offense. Jimmy Garoppolo, 17 of 25, 314 yards, 1 touchdown. Jimmy was cooking. Jimmy was cooking early in this game, and he slowed down in the second half, and that's something they got to work on as well. But Jimmy, in the first half, was 9 of 12 for 136 yards. He was looking great. And, we'll get into what Kenny's keys to the game were and if they checked off all them boxes, because I'll give you a sneak peek. Deebo Samuels was one of them boxes they checked off. That man was killing. 9 catches, 189 yards in the air, 1 touchdown. The offense looked phenomenal. There was a point in this game at the end of the first half where I forget the exact term that they have for it, but I was like, they got an opportunity for one of them wraparound things. It was 14-10 with 6:13 left. And the Niners had won the toss at the beginning of the game, and they were deferring to get the ball at the half. And I was like, they can do one of them wraparounds, one of them 2-for-1s that we talk about in basketball, something like that, right? Shanahan seems to like, where you can get a score at the end of the first half. You've got the ball coming out of the second half, and you can really open this thing up in a major way. Well, like I said, they were up 14-10, and they were so dominant on the offensive end, they scored too fast. There was like 2+ minutes to go after they scored. They went down the field, boom, 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 got it to 21-10. It was too easy. They couldn't even run the ball out and maneuver the clock the way they wanted to. Luckily for the 49ers, Dre Greenlaw followed that up with the pick 6, and they went into the half up 28-10. But I mean, it could have been real ugly for the Lions and the 49ers if they were able to manipulate that one the way they did. Hey, the offense was cooking. There was a moment late in the third quarter where I saw a stat where the Niners were literally averaging a first down every play. They were averaging 10.6 yards per play in the third quarter. Now, once again, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to say anything outlandish and be like, they just dominated. We all know who they were playing. We know what it is. We know what time it was. It was the Detroit Lions. Man, like I told you, that defense was there to be had. There wasn't enough turnaround for them to be better. We all know what it is. But the fact that they were doing what they were doing to an inferior defense as easily as they were doing it, that's just what I want to see. That's all I'm telling you, is that's what I want to see. And in that first half, they didn't even get Kittle cooking. They didn't even really get Kittle cooking for the whole game. They featured him a little bit coming out of the first half and into the third quarter. But Kittle, he was just out there, 4 receptions, 78 yards. They didn't even really profile him that way. So I was happy to see that. The defense for the 49ers, it was looking shaky early on. I did not like the way that interior line was looking and the way they were getting gashed. That upset me. But they stepped their game up. DeMarco Ryans, his first game as defensive coordinator, stepped his game up. They made the adjustments, and they started putting that thing on click lock until people start dropping like flies, and then they had to go to the backups, people like Dante Johnson. So there were a lot of things that I liked, a lot of things. And I'm going to talk to you about them all as we progress here on 49ers Game Day with your man, Kenny Caraway. We're going to take a quick break. When I come back, we'll get you caught up with what's going on around the league. And also, we're going to talk to my man, who covers the 49ers for Sports Illustrated, Jose Sanchez. He's going to come on here. We're going to talk more about the 49ers 41-33 week 1 victory. A lot closer, a lot more Fred Sanford than we thought it would be. But at the end of the day, you win a game, and we're going to slap hands for that. I'm going to take a little hardball for that. We're going to slap hands because you got a victory. All right, we're going to talk about it more on the other side. It's Kenny Caraway. It's 49ers Game Day here on ESPN 1320. Appreciate that, Charlie. Let's get in the chat, man. Let's see what they're talking about on the chat. First of all, let me let the people on Twitter know that we're here. I got a little situation here. I think, hey, Charlie, do you know if Jesse or you can set up this to join the stream on StreamYard so the people who are streaming can hear Jose when he calls? My main man. Thank you very much. All right, hold on, chat. I'm going to get to you guys in just a second. I got to make sure people know we're out here. I needed that at. Hold on, guys. It's the big one, Elizabeth. I'm coming to see you. All right, thank you, man. Okay, yeah. You guys, I'm trying to work everything out. I think we're good, but in the stream, let me know if you can hear Jose when he comes on. I think I'm good. I think I got it all figured out. But just think, if you can't hear him, just say like, "Oh, we can't hear him," and I'll do what I have to do for that one. Talking to you guys in the chat. All right. Let me see real quick. Cleveland beating them boys down right now, huh? Maybe Cleveland is the real deal. Maybe they are. I'm seeing the score right now. I wouldn't say they're beating them down. It's 22-10. Chiefs got the ball. It might be 22-17 by the end of the first half. You guys don't be dramatic. Now, Green Bay, they are getting slapped up, even though it's 17-13. It's only a 2-score game. Okay, I told him about 240. I'm going to play a rejoiner when we come back, too. Oh, shit. Okay.
Garoppolo flipping the run play here. The lone back is Elijah Mitchell. Toss right side behind the tight ends. Flags are down. Mitchell into the secondary. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown! San Francisco!
There's a flag on the play. We got to see what the call is. I think it's going to be against the Lions. What an unbelievable block by Mike McGlinchey out on the edge. Wow.
And Debo going to go in motion. 2-by-2, 2 right, 2 left. Jimmy in the shotgun on third down. They blitz. Anzalone. Jimmy gets hit. Fluttering ball down the sideline. Caught by Debo Samuel. Breaks a tackle now and will run all the way inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! San Francisco. How did he catch that ball? 79 yards.
What a huge play by Debo Samuels there on third down. Jimmy Garoppolo hanging in there, making the throw, and it just added to the fantastic day. Debo Samuels had 9 catches, 189 yards, and a touchdown, but he was almost only remembered for would have been one of the disastrous losses of all time in recent memory for the 49ers, that would have gone down as Debo fumbled the ball as the Niners were trying to run out the clock and put this game away. Almost cost them the win. But what did Brandy say? Almost doesn't count. Okay? Almost doesn't count. Niners win, and that's all that matters. Real quick, we got my man Jose Sanchez. He's going to tap in with us, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw from the 49ers in week 1 against the Lions. But before I do that, we want to check the scoreboard, see what's going on around the NFL. The Texans get the win. Tyrod Taylor did his thing as they beat the Jaguars 37-21 in their opener. Trevor Lawrence, 332 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns. But he had a few picks and a few costly picks that didn't get the job done for Urban Meyer and the Jaguars. The Panthers beat the Jets 19-14. Sam Darnold, 24 for 35, 279 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 21 carries, 98 yards. The Chargers, I told you, I gave it to you. I said the Chargers, keep your eye on them. They got a big win in Washington as they beat the football team 20-16. Justin Herbert, 31-47, 337 yards and a touchdown. Big game for him. The Seahawks, boo. Now, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to be a professional. Seahawks 28-16 over the Colts in Indianapolis. Russell Wilson, 18 for 23, 254 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air for Russell Wilson, 4 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns for Tyler Lockett. The Arizona Cardinals absolutely backhanded the Tennessee Titans 38-13. Kyler Murray with a nice day in the air, 21-32, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns on the day for the Cardinals. That's a big win for them, man. You know I'm not no hater. That was a big win for them. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, they get the overtime victory over the Vikings 27-24 in their season opener. Big win for Joe Burrow as he made his return. The Steelers, who were down 10-0 at the half, come back, beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo 23-16. Josh Allen, 30 for 51, 270 yards in the air. That's not really good. That's Jared Goff-like, to be honest with you. 1 touchdown wasn't good enough. Steelers come back and win that one in Buffalo. The Eagles, the week 2 opponent for the San Francisco 49ers, going to Atlanta and absolutely backhand the Atlanta Falcons 32-6. Jalen Hurts, 27-34, 264 and 3 touchdowns. Big day for him. The Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith, 6 receptions, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Games going on right now. The Broncos are up on the Giants 10-7 at the half. The Saints down in Florida beating the Packers 17-3 at the half. The Browns 22-10 over the Chiefs as they near the end of the first half. They're trying to make a statement right now. Shout out to the Browns. And the Patriots are up 10-7 over the Dolphins with 2 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to get back to the 49ers right now. And on the line with me, I got my main man, Jose Sanchez, covers the San Francisco 49ers for Sports Illustrated. We're going to talk about what we saw here in the week 1 victory with the 49ers beating the Lions 41-33. Jose, what's up, man?
Hey, Casey, what's up, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. And I came on here and I had this whole diatribe to start this show about how I'm not really upset with them coming back and all this other stuff. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you gotta close them out. We all know you gotta close them out. But my stance, Jose, was it's so tough to win, not just games in the NFL, not just games in football. It's tough to win games in sports, period. That you always want to remember, hey, we won the game here. We won the game. We'll fix all that other stuff, but we won the game. I'm happy we won. If I'm a Niners player in that locker room, we're 1-0. We'll figure some things out, but we're 1-0. I'm good with that. Is that the way that they should be approaching this one in the 49ers locker room, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that's how they're going to have to approach it. You know, any win is a win. You know, you'll take it. There is no such thing as I'm going to regret what just happened in this game. You know, so there's sense. So you take the win, and then you're just going to cut your ties and flip the page to the next game. It's just an unfortunate, I would say, a deflating win. What feels like a loss is you get flashbacks to week 2 with the Jets when all these players started flying off the shelf injured.
Right.
Jason Verrett, that's one injury, and I think that's one reason why it contributed to the game getting towards a downward spiral as it did.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden you see that injury, then you decide, oh, Kyle Shanahan, reactionary, we're going to pull a bunch of starters out, and then that also kind of factors into why the game spiraled out of control. And then you listen to the players. I'm over here looking at what the players, almost every player who went to the presser mentioned, Jason Verrett's injury was like, it kind of dampers their mentality, surely. Not to say it was the main thing or the sole thing, but, you look at the play like George Kittle, onside kick, that's something he has to have. That's a guy who's the hands team. It's the hands team for a reason that he needs to come up with that. It's a little bit inexcusable. I mean, I guess it happens in some situation, but you consider him to be an all-pro player. He is an all-pro player. He needs to come down with that. Or even on 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 6 where Garoppolo throws a little bit behind Debo. Maybe the ball should have been better. Debo probably comes up with that. Shouldn't have fumbled the ball. There was a bunch of multiple things that really – it was just them shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
More so than the Lions doing as great of a job as they did. It was just a lot of shooting yourself in the foot, and then it eventually just snowballed into what it became a comeback for the Lions, taking your foot off the gas pedal. They also admitted a little bit of complacency, but at the end of the day, the way that the game played out, you are happy you took this win. It was an expected win, hence why they were like -8 in this game. But now a game like this, you got to correct those mistakes, because week 2 against the Philadelphia Eagles, they're not slouched like you would think they are, especially compared to last year. That's going to be a game where, hey, you got to clean up those mistakes that you allowed the Lions to come back in, because you're not going to be able to sail past easy like you did in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you talk about Jason Verrett, and you talk about all the players coming in after the game and talking about how deflated they were to see that. I told everybody it's no excuse, and they're pros. They got to be able to compartmentalize some of those situations. But you're in the locker room. You see these guys all the time. You know how much they like Jason Verrett, number one, as a player, but they respect his grind. They respect what he's came from with all the injuries and to continue to battle back. And everybody was happy that he had such a great year last year, and coming into this year, hoping that, he was able to do that and do that again. And when he goes down and you see him with tears in his eyes, because he knows what it is. He's been there before. He knows what that injury is. I mean, we forget this isn't Madden. All right, these are human beings. They see their brother go down, and they know he's been through and what he's fought to get to this point. I mean, like I said, no excuse. They're going to be able to rebound from that. But at the same time, they are good. I'm sure that shoot people a little bit right there.
You're on the money, like you said. 3-point shot, my man. Right there on the money. I mean, how I see it is, I personally think that the 49ers should have considered pulling some starters, not all the starters, because you're midway through the fourth quarter. It's 41-17. Not like the Lions have really been doing much to really push you over the edge or even push you to the ledge, be it at that. So my defense is, hey, you consider the full players out, because what ended up happening is Verrett getting injured, and then you started pulling players. That was reactionary. What happens when in practices when one player or 2 players suffer a real bad injury? The practices get canceled. Look at the Ravens last week. Gus Edwards goes down, Marcus Peters goes down. They cut that practice short. Why? Because maintaining focus is difficult. Like you said, everyone's human. I mean, it's both sides of the fence here, where, hey, there's a way you got to be professional about it and focus on your job, but it's kind of hard to a little bit demoralize you. Like, I know it resonated more with some players in the 49ers than it did with others. Like D Ford, he was probably the most vocal about it, because he said, hey, me and him are essentially like the same injury type prone players, and just the comeback I felt for him. I'd say the only player, at least podium wise, who went up that was the most headstrong was Fred Warner, and you kind of want that, especially from your captain, from your leader on the defense and the team as a whole. But it's the fact that you have players like Kittle, You had players like Jimmy Garoppolo even mentioning it, like everyone kind of felt it, or it knocked the wind out of your sails. So the fact that that was the point that, in my opinion, that it started the domino effect. Like, this is the one that started hitting the rails down. Not to say that, hey, Jason Verrett got injured. That's why George Kittle couldn't catch that onside pass, onside kick. But the reality is, it does affect you. If coaches, as the teams end the practices, then of course it's going to knock you off your game. Especially at that point, when you're already that lead. You kind of already probably teetering towards complacency. So it's just all funneled in. So to me, in my eyes, you should have probably considered pulling back some starters. Just some of them, because you can't pull half a unit or even the whole unit because you only have so many players. But some players that you got to manage or figure out on your own sense, because this is what these coaches get paid to do, to figure out how they're going to, stagger these players in, or when to pull them or when not to pull them.
Yeah, absolutely. We got my man Jose Sanchez, 49ers beat writer for Sports Illustrated, joining 49ers Game Day with your man Kenny Caraway. And like I said earlier, you got to win. You get a win if you're the 49ers. And we spent, a lot of time talking about, some of the negative things that have gone on. Well, they did some really good things to get to 41 points, right? And I saw that offense. I mean, they were humming. We know it's the Lions. We know that was one of the worst defenses in the game last year. And I know they got new a regime change, and Aaron Glenn is a new defensive coordinator. But they didn't do enough with the personnel to really change who they are. And the Niners lit them up like a Christmas tree. There was a point in the third quarter, Jose, late in the third quarter, where the Niners literally were averaging a first down every play. They were averaging 10.6 yards per play. And this is everything that you typically get with a Kyle Shanahan team with weapons. You got Debo. You got a guy like Raheem Mostert when he was in there, and then he got hurt. But then you get his backup coming in there and just picking up where he left off. They didn't even get killed going into the second half. What did you see from this offense that really, really impressed you, that really stood out to you the most?
I saw exactly what they did in 2019. Is when you're healthy, we're going to steamroll all over you, and we're going to dismantle you defensively. They had a game plan set, and it was kind of clear that it wasn't even that wide of a game plan. That's how it kind of felt like to me, that, hey, we're going to play our own game. We know your defense is full of holes. You don't really have the talent to keep up with us. We're going to play our own game. You can't stop us. And that's what they did. They ran the ball. They only utilized Debo Samuel, and they sprinkled in George Kittle. That's it. It literally was just that. It was just two players, and Elijah Mitchell, of course. So the running game from sprinkled in Kittle and Debo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk, I don't even think got a target this game, which I think speaks to a larger factor on the side that maybe, I don't know how Kyle Shanahan views them, but that's something to dive into as well. But pretty much that the fact that you only needed just a few players to really lead the way, I mean, it says a lot about your offense. There's a lot like, hey, these guys are a playoff contending team. I mean, and even if the game got close or as a better opponent, cool. Now we can start incorporating more plays. We can start incorporating more talent, like, more Trent Sherfield, Sanu, IQ, use check incorporation if we need to, or backup tight ends like a Dwelly or whoever else we need to really make this a hard game on the defense. So to me, it just felt like another day, another dollar for the 2019 offense in this sense, because they looked the same to me. It was just amazing to see, and it just goes to show you what happens when Kyle Shanahan finally has a starting caliber quarterback. Because, I'm not really a big Jimmy Garoppolo advocate, but hey, he looked good today. He played his role. He executed the offense to full ability. Not like he was uplifting, but hey, this is what the offense is supposed to look like. Quarterback to execute it, makes the throws, and just takes care of the football, and then boom, that's what you get, an average first down. And you get 40-plus points on the board. Yeah,
absolutely. And on the other side of the ball, I was getting a little frustrated early because the Lions were gashing him up the middle. That's where you miss the big guy, the big tank up front, like Javon Kinlaw, who wasn't there. And to see them just gashing the 49ers up the middle was a little frustrating. But it seemed like DeMarco Ryan made the necessary adjustments. And then also, I felt like there was two groups in particular that took over this game on the defensive end. You got the pass rushers on the outside, Nick Bosa, D4, welcome back. All right, those guys were all over the place in Jared Goff's face. And then I was so impressed by what this linebacker group did. I thought they really took control of this game. Fred Warner, House Shazier, Drake Greenlaw with the big six. I thought they changed the way the defense was playing after a little bit of a shaky start. Did you see the same thing from them on the defensive end?
Yeah, Yeah, you can definitely tell they were trying to mix up a little bit more. It's still a little bit like iffy in terms of what D'Amico Ryans wants to do, because personally, in my sense, what I was saying is Ryans went through some growing pains in this game. The way that they were kind of beating, like exactly how you said, up the middle, or even with some pass plays, and it kind of showed that way towards the end. I think that's something to expect, that, hey, this defense is not going to be the same level as it was as we've been seeing it, because it's just a credit of how phenomenal of a coordinator that Robert Saleh was. You know, because that guy, the way he was just changing identities, changing coverages, adapting to what the offense was doing. And not to say that Ryans is going to be a good coordinator. I think he's going to be solid, but let's call it what it is. He's going to go through some growing pains, and if he gets anywhere close to solid, great. But I think you saw in a game like today, the way that it was called, I mean, even with the starters, regardless of getting pulled, some of the play calling of his side was a little scarce. I noticed like a little bit like wanted to go more with some man coverage and stuff like that. But I just think it's going to be an adjustment period. So like you said, the way the linebackers are really stepping up. Al-Shahir, man, he was really all over the place.
Yeah.
He might have been like the best linebacker on the field today, just the way he was just all over the place. But yeah, exactly what you said. This is the way the linebackers set up, the pass rushing. I just think it's going to be something that we expect, where we just saw like those little weaknesses that we saw in the defense, the way the Lions were pushing them. And maybe you could say Kinlaw was a factor, but I mean, who knows about him? I think it's going to be a reality that you're going to have to start getting used to without him, because this guy, whatever it is, knee tendonitis, his injury from the Cowboys game last year, it's just something you're going to have to start adapting to. Is D'Amico Ryans going to be capable of that? I don't know. We're definitely going to see as the season progresses.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll get you out of this on this one, Jose. Trey Lance, we saw him come in there, made a couple plays, had a touchdown throw. That was pretty cool to see him throw to Trent Sherfield. But after that, it seems to me like Kyle Shanahan just really was doing too much. And I feel if you're going to have the 2-quarterback system in there with Trey Lance, when he comes in there, you got to let him be a quarterback. And that means have the whole, or, both sides of the playbook open. It can't just be this, read option or the triple option or whatever. Have him be a threat to the throw, because right now, when he gets in there, if I'm a defender, I'm not going to run. They're putting 11 in the box. He's got to shore that up a little bit moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. There definitely should be more variety, but I think what I could probably surmise maybe what Kyle Shanahan was doing in there is he was putting just nothing but read option or design run plays like that, so he could set up the Eagles or future teams like, hey, what is it going to be? So now when it's like the way you're thinking, hey, I'm just going to commit to the run. Well, if that's going to be what the Eagles do next week, great, because now he's going to be like, all right, I know what they're going to do. Here, drop back, Trey, or do some rollouts. We'll get you on the move to really gas these guys. So that way we expose our receivers. I mean, we get our receivers more in some holes and find them wide open. So I think I agree with you in the sense, like, especially in that 3rd and 1 play, I believe, where he just, had that hand. That was probably the most egregious. But other than that, I actually didn't have too much of a problem with what he was doing. This was kind of, at least, maybe it's because I expected it this way, just sort of seeing it from the handful of camps I was at this year. But this is how it's going to look like, like the 3 to 5, 5 to 8 max of plays that you're going to see from him. It was intriguing, though, to see the first play, or what was it, first or second play that they got in, that he throws a touchdown pass. That was a good, nice little sight to see. And I think, if anything, the way that Garoppolo was looking today, you had Deebo Samuel open on so many throws. It just kind of bogged my mind, like, what, Trey Lance can't hit that? I mean, it's not like, like I said, Garoppolo is saying execute the offense, but Trey Lance can't do that? It's not like Garoppolo's doing anything special. A lot of this pulling the strings, getting players wide open lanes, the running scheme with Elijah Mitchell was Kyle Shanahan. The guy is like top 3, no less than top 5 offensive mind head coach in the league, and you saw it right there in display. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Don't just make it predictable, but I think I get in the sense why he's doing that, just to set up teams and then maybe incorporate him more to get more of a passing load. It's going to be tough to tell, because even he's always said that, hey, I don't really have a game plan for this. And the players are like, yeah, I'm just at the ready, just waiting for him to, just use me whenever he wants. So it's definitely going to be fun to see. But I hope he's not just, kept as a one-dimensional player like you think he would be.
Yeah. Jose Sanchez, 49ers beat writer for Sports Illustrated. That's why you're the man. I appreciate you coming on here. But, hey, you're going to have to see me in Madden 22. Stop playing with me, Jose. You're going to have to see me.
I no more Madden for me, man. I've seen how many glitches happened in that game. I think I saw a glitch where someone played as the Niners and the whole D-line.
Yeah, that was an all-timer. I said I might have tapped out after that one, too. I was like, all right, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Bro, I'll I'll stop buying. Make the product better, and I'll return. How about that?
No doubt, no doubt. Jose, I appreciate you, man. I'll be talking to you.
All right, my man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right. My main man, Jose Sanchez, here on 49ers Game Day. We're about to close some things up, man, and get you ready for the rest of your Sunday, man. Enjoy your Sunday and get ready. We're going to come back here tomorrow at noon with my man Damian Barling for D-Lo and KC. Before I get out of here, though, we had to touch on what the Niners were able to do with Kenny's keys to victory. Were they able to knock him out? The first one I asked was, I said, hold the Lions to 300 yards or less on the day. That should be enough to come out of Ford Field with opening day victory. Now, all right, this one I was already ready to be like, I was almost going to give him a little caveat, give him a little mulligan, because late in the third quarter with 4:33 left, they had Detroit at 197 total yards. And I knew Detroit was just going to start dinking and dunking and picking up yards that way. I almost gave them the moral victory on that one. I can't do it after they ended up getting what they ended up getting for the game. 430 yards. Yeah, I'm not giving them that mulligan. So they missed that one. But they missed that one. Next, I said dominate the game on the ground. If the 49ers can stay committed to the run game and establish dominance in the run game, 125 plus yards, then I think they'd win. Well, they were able to get that one done because they finished with 131 yards on the ground. I thought it might have been a little bit more, but they got that one done. And I said 100 total yards on the game for Deebo Samuels and the 49ers to get a win today. Well, they definitely got that one. 189 yards in the air for Deebo Samuels on the day with the touchdown. So they got 2 of the 3 Kenny keys right. And guess what? They got a victory. All right. 41-33, the 49ers come away with a victory in week 1. I don't care how it got done. I'm not trying to be like that team that used to be in Oakland that's in Vegas, but I will say, just win, baby. I don't care. I'm glad they got it done. I appreciate you guys tapping in with me all day long today. I will see you guys tomorrow with my main man, Damian Barling, D-Lo and KC, 12 to 4. Y'all be good. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm up out of here. Niner gang. Go Niners. See y'all tomorrow. Oh man, my man. Perfect. That's what I love to hear, man. So, man, thank you for everything you did all day, this morning, all that other stuff. And yeah, hopefully we have a fun season to break down all year long. Smooth. Sounds good, man. Thank you, Charlie. Tell Jesse I said thank you for all his work today, man. And I'll talk to you guys later on. All right. Take care, man. Everybody in the chat, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all tapped in with me, man, all day long. Got the word out, all that other stuff. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday because my family's looking at me like, yo, you've been watching football all day long. You need to back up off of that. All right. So I appreciate you guys, man. Warren, Kyron, Cheryl, Brian, Scott. I seen Manny up in here, Bryce, all you guys, man. I seen everybody in here all day long, man. I thank you guys for tapping in, for supporting. And I'm sure I'll see all you guys tomorrow at noon, man. Y'all take care. I'm up out of here. Peace.